Have you ever wondered who the samurai truly were? Not just swordsmen from the movies, not just characters from anime or games, but real people who once walked the path of discipline, honor, and silence. Men and sometimes even women who chose to dedicate their entire lives to a way of being. Today we take a quiet step into that world. Welcome to the Samurai Bushido Channel. When most people think of the word samurai, what comes to mind? Armor, katana, fierce duels, loyalty to a shogun. These images are popular and not entirely wrong, but they are just the surface of something much deeper. The truth is, samurai were more than warriors. They were scholars, artists, poets. They practiced calligraphy with the same intensity as they practiced swordsmanship. They read Chinese classics. They wrote haiku. They reflected on life and death through Zen. The samurai lived by a codion that demanded not just strength, but character. Not just power, but restraint. This code was called Bushido, the way of the warrior. Let's take a moment to explore where the samurai came from. The word samurai is derived from the verb saburao, which means to serve a lord, to serve a purpose, to serve something greater than oneself. In the Heian period over 1,000 years ago, aristocrats hired warriors to guard their land. As time passed, these hired protectors evolved into a distinct social class. By the 12th century, they had become the ruling military elite, not because they took power, but because they earned respect. In the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, samurai were no longer just guards. They were leaders, governors, and stewards of culture. They studied Chinese philosophy. They practiced etiquette and tea ceremony. They believed that the battlefield was only one part of their duty. To be a samurai was to live with purpose, in war and in peace. But what truly defined a samurai was Bushido. Bushido is not just a set of rules. It is a way of life built on 7 core virtues: righteousness, courage, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, loyalty. Let's say them again. Gi righteousness, Yu courage, Jin benevolence, Rei respect, Makoto honesty, Mei honor, true loyalty. Each of these values was like a sword forged in the fire of tradition, sharpened over generations. If a samurai lost his honor, he would rather lose his life. That is where the ritual of seppuku, often misunderstood as suicide, comes in. It was not an escape. It was a final act of taking responsibility, of protecting one's name, one's family, one's soul. To die with honor was better than to live in shame. Many samurai practiced Zen Buddhism. Why? Because the battlefield is a place of chaos. And to survive, one needs stillness. Zen taught the samurai to clear the mind, to detach from fear, to act with awareness, not impulse. They trained themselves not just in cutting techniques, but in silence. Not just in speed, but in stillness. There is an old saying, a samurai draws his sword with his heart, not his hand. But not all samurai lived their lives on the battlefield. In fact, most of their time was spent in peaceful duties. They governed lands. They resolved disputes. They managed taxes. They trained future generations. And yes, they composed poetry. Some of the most beautiful lines in Japanese literature come from the hands of samurai. Their homes were built with simplicity and balance. Their rooms were decorated with scrolls, blades, and calligraphy. Every object had meaning. Even the tea ceremony was a kind of battle. Against ego, against haste. A moment of peace, sharpened by discipline. So what happened to the samurai? Did they disappear? Officially, yet. In the late 1800s, during the Meiji Restoration, the samurai class was abolished. Japan was modernizing, westernizing. Swords were outlawed. The old warrior class had no place in the new world. But Bushido didn't die. It transformed. You can still find it today in martial arts, in traditional businesses, in the quiet dedication of a craftsman, or the respectful bow of a teacher. Even outside Japan, the word samurai now symbolizes something universal. Integrity, focus, purpose, discipline. It's not just a historical term. It's an ideal, a mirror, a guide. So let me ask you again, what is a samurai? A warrior, yes, but also a thinker, a guardian, a seeker. The samurai may be gone from the streets of Japan, but their spirit remains in anyone who chooses the path of honor over ease, duty over desire, purpose over pride. If you'd like to dive deeper into this philosophy, I highly recommend the book Bushido, The Soul of Japan by Inazo Nitobe. It was written in 1900 for Western readers, but its message still rings true today. Thank you for watching the Samurai Bushido Channel. If this journey moved something in you, please like, subscribe, and join us next time as we explore Bushido itself, the code of the warrior. Until then, walk with honor.